بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد وبرا بوالدتي. Quran highlights the importance of the mother, how a pivotal role she plays in one's life, and since she is so important, she needs to be given a lot of importance. So never undervalue, never underestimate the value of the mother, because she has been given a great rank, a great position, a great standing, a great status, a great reputation, a great prominence. Indeed, we cannot fathom the magnitude and the substance which Deen has allocated to the mother. Life doesn't come with a manual, it comes with a mother. A mother is she who can take the place of all others, but whose place no one else can take. She can take the place of others, but whose place no one else can take. Rida al-Rabb fi rida al-Walid, the pleasure of Allah, the anger of Allah, and based on how you treat your parents. To such an extent, if a person wants to extend their life, من سره أن يمد له في عمره ويزاد في رزقه فليبر والديه. Be good to your parents. See how Allah gives you barakah. رغم أنفه ثم رغم أنفه. 3 times Nabi alayhi salam said, may he be disgraced, may he be disgraced, may be he disgraced. من يا رسول الله, who Nabi of Allah? من أدرك والديه عند الكبر. One of your parents or both attain old age during his lifetime. ثم لم يدخل الجنة. He does not get Jannah, he does not acquire Jannah by fulfilling their rights, by rendering a service to them, by fulfilling his duty. هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان. How much good has your mother, how much sacrifice. حملته أمه وهنا على وهن. What difficulty, what hardship she had undergone when she carried you for those many months. How many inconveniences she underwent, then the difficulties of childbirth, then after that the sleepless nights, the restless days, the sickness that you went through. Yet she was never too busy, she was never too sick, she was never too tired for you. She gave everything for you, and you got nothing to give her. This was such a quality. Aisha radiyallahu anha said, كان رجلان من أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Amongst 2 Sahaba were prominent in this ummah, were making a khidmah of their parents. Uthman bin Affan wa Haritha bin Nu'man radiyallahu anhuma. Haritha was so particular that he used to remove the lice. He would remove the lice from his mother's hair and he would feed her. So this was the quality of these Sahaba, and he would feed her with his own hands. Sufyan al-Thawri rahimahullah used to say that certain people who used to do good to their mothers, where they should actually wash the hair of the mothers, they would dye it, they would comb it, and they would put khidab. Zahri explaining Hassan bin Ali, La ya'kul ma'a ummihi, he wouldn't eat with his mother. He was the best of people with the consideration and the concern for their mother. فَقِيلَ لَهُ فِي ذَلِكَ, somebody asked him, why don't you eat with your mother? أَخَافُ أَنْ آكُلْ مَعَهَا, maybe I am eating with her, and on the plate, on the platter, her eye goes towards one morsel, one specific food, one thing that she likes. وَأَنَا لَا أَدْرِي, I may consume that, and then it'll be tantamount to disobedience to my mother. Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, when he used to leave the house, he should stand by the door of his mother. فَقَالَ السَّلَامُ عَلَيْكِ يَا أُمَّهِ وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ, O my beloved mother, making salam. وَعَلَيْكَ السَّلَامُ يَا وَلَدِي وَرَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ, O my beloved son, reply. Then you say, رَحِمَكِ اللَّهُ كَمَا رَبَّيْتِنِي صَغِيرًا, may Allah have mercy on you, how you had looked after me when I was small and young. فَتَقُولْ رَحِمَكَ اللَّهُ, may Allah have mercy on you, how you were good to me in my old age. This was the relationship, this was the standard. What darkness we are in, where we have abandoned our mothers. We think so, we live in the life, we think so, we got the profession, we think so, we got the bank balances, we think so, we got it right. We got it absolutely wrong. Like a boss asks the applicant, is there anything you can do other that what other people can't do? Is there anything you can do that other people can't do? So he replied, yes, I am the only person that can read my handwriting. I am the only person who can read my handwriting. Darkness upon darkness. We've not understood the value of the mothers of this ummah, the potential of the women of this ummah. Great men came from great women. Great men came from great women. Rabia Basriya was told that you women, no matter how pious and religious you become, can never become Anbiya, prophets. She replied, we women don't and can't become prophets, but we give birth to prophets. We can't become Anbiya, but we give birth to Anbiya. Somebody told her, why don't you take assistance from the people? There's so many people ready to help you. Said, I feel ashamed to ask of worldly things from the one who owns it all, Allah. I don't ask for dunya from Allah, who owns everything. Why should I ask those who don't anything at all? Why should I ask those people who don't own anything at all? She was a lady that when she passed away and it was seen the angels came in the grave and questioned, Ya ma Rabbuk? She said, I will answer your questions later. You tell me, where have you come from? We have come from the heavens. She didn't ask, what is the distance between earth and the heavens? 500 years, they replied. She said, knowing that you have come from a very far distance, have you forgotten your Allah? They said, no. She said, when you haven't forgotten Allah despite coming from so far from the Asman, the heavens, do you think Rabia coming just 4 feet under the earth will have forgotten her Allah? Whereas there wasn't a single moment on earth where she had become forgetful of Allah, where she had become ghafil and negligent of Allah. These were the women of the Ummah who set a standard, every ummati, every female in this ummah has the potential. We have undermined our own potential. Khalad rahmatullahi became shaheed in the battle of Qurayza. His mother Khalad came to Nabi alayhi salam to ask about him. Her face was concealed. Somebody said, your son has passed away in the battle with your face covered. You've come here. And you should be grieved, you should be in remorse, not worried about just your parda. She said, I may have lost my son, I've not lost my haya. I've not lost my haya. So these were the mothers of the ummah who set the standard. The mother of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal was an imam of fiqh. His father passed away at a young age, and in the cold nights of Baghdad, his mother would wake up early before him. She would warm the water so he could make wudu for Fajr. Then she would wear her jilbab, wrap him up in a blanket and escort him in the cold, dark alleys of Baghdad to the Jami' Masjid. She would take him early so he could get the first saf in the classroom, and he would spend the entire day learning Quran and Hadith. When his mother would wait for him to finish, she would take him back. And when he was 16 years old, she prepared food and money, and she said, travel now and go seek ilm. He left for Makkah, Madinatul Munawwara, many other areas, and he became one of the great A'immah of his time. Look at Imam Malik rahimahullah. He wanted to become a musician because in those days they were famous, they had wealth. His mother made his tarbiyah. She said, Ya bunayya, oh my son, a musician, إذا كان قبيح الوجه, a musician who he does not look handsome, then people won't be attracted to his music. He was a handsome youngster, but to dissuade him, فَدَعَ, leave this, وَاتْلُبُ الْفِقْهِ, and seek jurisprudence, seek fiqh. So he said, فَتَرَكْتُ, I left that concept, I abandoned the concept of music and musicians. وَتَبِعْتُ الْفُقَهَا, and I followed the scholars, the fuqaha. فَبَلَّغَهُ اللَّهُ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him reach the stage which we see that he was imam of his time. So the mothers of this ummah, and she should tell him that, oh my son, ati majlisa Rabi'a, go to the gathering of Rabi'a and learn from his silence and his etiquettes قبل أن تتعلم من حديثه وفقهه. Before you learn hadith and fiqh, learn adab and etiquettes. Look at the life of Imam Shafi'i and how his mother made his tarbiyah. She took him to Makkah to learn Quran. At the age of 7, he became a Hafidhul Quran. Then she sent him to the outskirts to learn Arabic because that's where it was fluent. Then she taught him horse riding, archery. From 100 arrows he would hit the bullseye. And he continued seeking knowledge. By the age of 15 he was a mufti. The mothers of the ummah, so these were the imams of the ummah, but the imams were their mothers. Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, what was his story? One of the greatest muhaddis of the time. And what was behind him? The tears and the dua of the mother. She made dua. He had lost his eyesight in an early childhood, and the doctor said there is no cure. The doctors lost hope. The mother didn't lose hope. She said, I cried so much, I thought my kidneys would burst. One day she seen Ibrahim alayhi salam in her dream saying, because of your dua, your constant supplication, Allah has returned the eyesight of your child. When she woke up, she found her son whose eyesight was restored, Muhammad bin Ismail al-Bukhari. So these were the status Allah had granted the women of this ummah. So we need to value that and not value a day that is dedicated only for a mother. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum deenakum. Our deen is perfect, it is complete. We don't need to follow the ways of batil, the ways of destruction. لَتَتَّبِعُنَّ سُنَنَ مَنْ قَبْلَكُمْ شِبْرًا بِشِبْرٍ وَذِرَاعًا بِذِرَاعٍ. You will certainly follow the ways of those who came before you. Nabi alayhi salam is warning us, we will follow the kuffar, we will follow the disbelievers, will follow the mushrikeen, handspan by handspan, cubit by cubit, to the extent so much لو سلكوا جحر ضب لسلكتموه. If they entered the hole of a lizard, you will enter it. O Nabi of Allah, al-Yahud wal-Nasara, you mean the Jews and the Christian? Who else? فَمَنْ مَنْ تَشَبَّى بِقَوْمٍ فَهُوَ مِنْهُمْ. Whoever imitates a nation is part of that. There will be حُشِرَ مَعَهُمْ. That's why riwayat of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhuma, إِنَّ اللَّهَ نَظَرَ فِي قُلُوبِ الْعِبَادِ. Allah had gazed on the hearts of humanity. فَوَجَدَ قَلْبَ مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ خَيْرَ قُلُوبِ الْعِبَادِ. The best of hearts was the heart of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَاصْطَفَاهُ لِنَفْسِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for himself. Then he was chosen for nubuwwat. ثُمَّ نَظَرَ فِي قُلُوبِ الْعِبَادِ. Then he looked at the hearts again, and the best hearts were the hearts of Sahaba. He made them the aids and the helpers of Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. فَمَا رَأَى الْمُسْلِمُونَ حَسَنًا فَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ حَسَنًا. What the Muslims think to be good before Allah, that's what will be good in the eyes of Allah. These occasions, these days, these birthdays, these wedding anniversaries, these valentines, these mothers and father days, are days, a day in the year to fulfill not the haqq of a person, just it has become monetized. It is a day to show how much money you can spend on them. So this is part of the imitating. Allama ibn Taymiyah said that imitating them in outward matters, fil umuri dhahirati, in outward matters, leads to imitate them in attitude, fil akhlaq wal a'mal, in attitude, in actions. Therefore we have been forbidden to imitate the kuffar. And he used to say it is not permissible for Muslims to imitate them in anything, fi shay'im mimma yakhtassu bi'ayadihim, that is uniquely part of their festivals. La min ta'amin, not their food, wala libasin, not their clothing, wala ikhtisal, wala iqadi niran, not in anything, refraining from any of their acts of worship. It is not permissible to give a feast, to give gifts, to sell anything that will help do that for their purpose, to allow children, others to play games that are part of the festivals, or to wear any adornments, wala idhara zina, nothing of their adornments should be followed. Hafiz Dhahabi has mentioned something as well, that if the Christians have a festival or the Jews, it is only for them. No Muslim, فَلَا يُشْرِكْهُمْ فِيهِ مُسْلِمٌ, no Muslim should join them in that what they do, in their religion, in their direction of prayer, nothing. So we have been told not to imitate them in any aspect, in any avenue. And this Mother's Day was the festivals of honoring not mothers but mother goddesses. It goes back to the ancient times. The origins are all shirk, ascribing partners to Allah, and kufr. We go back to the ancient Greeks. In their spring festival, they celebrated the goddess Rhea, was considered the mother of gods, and that was associated with another mother goddess, Sabel, whom the Romans honored. So between the Romans and the Greeks, it's filled with paganism. Even in Christianity, the Mothering Sunday in the calendar, and this was a celebration supposedly of motherhood, Mother Church, a special service, which the tradition of gifting on the Mothering Sunday service. So children will pick flowers on the way to church and give bouquets to their mothers. That's where flowers came in. Likewise, in the medieval time, the apprentices and servants would be given a Mothering Sunday off, so they could go to their mothers. And this was representing the apostles of Isa alayhi salam. Again, shirk. We look at the ancient Greeks and Romans. They worshipped the mother goddesses at springtime. So the Greeks of Rhea, the wife of Cronus, 250 BC. Romans, Magna, honoring these goddesses. And these are the foundations of paganism. And if you look at Mothering Sunday connected to the Lent fast, there's about celebration of the Mother Church personifying Mother of Christ. Again, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and connecting to that. Then the Satanists, Wicca, which is referred to witchcraft. So the witch in those days, the witch was supposed to be wise one. They've adopted it, not wise, but one who is good in doing spells. They had the skill of doing spell, the craft. They were wise in the black arts, and these people were called Wiccans, pagans, neo-pagans. They mastered, the witches mastered black magic, they mastered jadoo, and they also celebrated this day. In their Mother's Day, they're celebrating Mother Earth, acknowledging the Mother Goddess. And nowadays, even professionals who are in the satanic groups, doctors, lawyers, teachers, etc., they say the Earth Goddess. Again, Gaia was the Earth Goddess. They've integrated it with the Wicca, Satanism, and these goddess worshippers, they have their celebrations looking at the phases of the moon, and they have the triple goddess, where they celebrate the spring, the summer, and the autumn winter, which is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So Mother's Day is satanic. Besides the pagan tradition, besides the Mothering Day, but even the arrival of spring, which is the vernal equinox, the first day of summer, the summer solstice, these Wiccans, these pagans, they celebrate, which is satanic worship and the way of the goddess. So it's part of their tradition. We look at America, Anna Jarvis, who started this Mother Day as well, was also promoting feminist causes and modernism. So we have to be very careful, we have to be cautious, we don't fall in this year. May Allah protect one and all. The amal for today is to make a niyyah to build a masjid. ينبغي به وجه الله بنى الله له بيتا في الجنة. Allah will build for you a house in Jannah if you build a masjid. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.